Hey guys, just a little disclaimer before we get this video started. I kind of went off at the end of this. I kind of freaked out a little bit, a little off topic, but if you enjoy watching me scream and yell and totally lose my shit, you can either watch till the end, skip ahead till the end. It's super fun. If you don't want to hear me completely freak out and lose my shit, you might want to stop the video somewhere around like 8 minutes or something like that. So just fair warning. Welcome to Mindless Entertainment. I'm Jessi Milestone, and this is meant to offend. So if you're offended, good. This episode is all about people who take public transit, and this episode was inspired by Rowdy. Tell me if I'm pronouncing that right, dude, because I really have no idea. Who is part of my Patreon community, and he is part of the reward tier that gets to suggest content for my show. That's right, if you become one of my Patreons for a certain dollar amount, you can tell me what to say, and I'll say it. Because my channel, just like America, is a plutocracy. That's right, it is governed by the dollar. And my need to, eat food and pay rent. So this is for you, Rowdy. My feelings, my opinions about people riding public transit, their greatest grievances, and my general issues. So I'm going to break this down into 3 different parts for you. I'm going to talk about my biggest pet peeve when it comes to people on public transit, or generally people sitting down in public anywhere. I'd like to talk about some of my personal experiences riding the subway in the wonderful city of Los Angeles. And I'd also like to just throw in my very controversial feelings regarding people who are very, very heavy riding on airplanes. So here we go. So public transit. The thing that really, really gets my goat about riding public transit is everybody's utter and total fear of sitting next to another human being. I mean, this is public transportation. It's right in the title. You're just riding along with everybody else. If you want your own private little bubble, right? Don't ride public transportation. Spend more money to ride in like a limousine or a private car or something like that. But the whole point is, if you're paying the lowest fare that you could possibly pay to get from point A to point B, then you are going to be doing it with a lot of other people, and you don't get to be elitist about it. You're one of everybody else doing the everybody else everyday thing of riding from A to B, and I don't give a crap if you don't like people, because you're going to sit next to them. You don't have to talk to them, you don't have to be their friend, you don't have to interact with them, but you are going to sit the fuck next to them. So deal with it. All right. So the thing I can't stand is when people do that thing where they sit down and they're like, so there's, a giant line of seats, right? And there's a couple people here and there's a couple people here, and maybe there's like 3 or 4 seats right in the middle, and they choose the middlemost seat. They choose the middlemost seat, and then maybe a group of 2 or 3 gets on the bus or on the train, and they don't. Do they move? Do they move over so that the group can all sit down? No, fuck no. They're like, this is my space. Or the other thing that drives me crazy, people do this on trains all the time and on buses, is they take their backpack and they sit it next to them. Especially once the train starts filling up. It's like, dude, I'm not a moron. I know that your backpack is not a person, and if I want to sit, I'm gonna be like, yo, move that backpack. Like, just don't be a jerk about it in the first place. Understand that if you're riding a train during a crowded commuter time, someone is going to want that seat. So move your damn backpack so people can sit there. Like, really? And at the movie theaters, all that nonsense too, right? Oh, I'm going to make sure I leave, like, 1 seat. Or especially, and this drives me crazy, so in LA, you have a lot of free screeners, where you can just, like, go and see a movie for free a month or a week or whatever before it comes out, which is a really fun, cool thing, and these always fill up because you're getting to see a free damn movie before it comes out, and everyone wants to feel special, so everybody is going to these, right? Everybody is going to these. They are using every seat. So people come in, and they sit down, and they leave, like, 1 seat between you and the person next to you. Like, someone is going to need that seat. And if I'm the person who doesn't get into the theater because nobody knew there was that 1 little seat between you and somebody else, I'm finding you afterwards, and I'm probably strangling you. Like, that is, how more obnoxious can you be? Or when you see a movie's crowded, when you go to a movie that you know is going to be crowded or full, and you do that, and now the people who come in who didn't show up 30 minutes early, right? Now one of us has to sit here, and the other one has to sit bumfuck all the way over there because you are too afraid of other human beings to sit directly next to them. If that's the issue, don't go out in public. Just spend the money to watch it at home in the comforts of your own living room. I mean, there are human beings everywhere. I don't like them either, but I'm not going to die if I share an armrest with one for 2 freaking hours. Get the F over yourself, people. I mean, it just... So while we're at it, also, I mean, another thing that drives me nuts, too, are people who get really, really rowdy on public transit. Now, it's hard for me to talk, considering that I have ridden a bus between a stadium and a parking lot in which I instigated the Eagles cheer twice. That was for the Chargers game back in September. I was also on a trolley on Sunday night. I mean, look, if you were on a trolley on Sunday night for any reason other than to head towards the Broad Street riot, I don't know what you were doing there anyway. So the fact that we were all screaming for the Eagles is great, you know. But I was on a train last night, you know, and it's late. It was like close to midnight. We're on our way back, and there's a group of people getting rowdy. I think they're like watching awesome replays of the Eagles winning the Super Bowl and screaming and cheering for the Eagles. Like, that's great. I support cheering for the Eagles at pretty much any time of life. But it's not a bad idea to like tone it the F down on the train. Like, yeah, we're all happy for the team, but get off the train and yell, you know, into the ether. Wake up the people sleeping in apartments, not the people who are like chilled out on their train right now. I don't care about people in apartments. That's just, you know, rule of life anyway. Or like, I took a red eye on the way over here, and of course I sat next to some freaking like frat people on their way back from Vegas or something. It's the middle of the goddamn night. We are all going the fuck to sleep. This is a red eye, right? And this one chick just wouldn't shut up. And that's like, it would be one thing at least if I am forced to listen to your conversation and it's at least intelligent or fun to listen to. But it's like self-aggrandizing bullshit about like, oh, my uncle works for this place, so I can get a job here if I wanted to, and I can get a job here if I wanted to, and I'm so important, and I work for Fox News and voted for Donald Trump, ha! And like, I don't know if she was being serious about that part or not, but like, it doesn't matter. Nobody wants to hear 5 different times in a single half an hour who you voted for. I don't care who you voted for. I don't need to hear you repeat it over and over and over again. Clearly, you're very proud of yourself. Nobody else is. Nobody. Like, probably not even Donald Trump is that proud of you for being one person who wants to talk about how many times you voted for him, because guess what? That means he's not talking about himself in those 5 fucking minutes, and that's just not good enough for him anyway. Like, shut up. Shut the fuck up when you are on public transit and there are a lot of other people around you, especially when it's late at night. Nobody else wants to hear you talk. If you want to have a quiet, peaceful conversation, that's fine, but shut the fuck up. Don't just go on and on and on because you think you're clever or cute or the most goddamn important person in the room. And this, I will say, this is a millennial issue, right? People in my generation and younger really think that they are the most goddamn important person that has ever lived. They're the most important person in the fucking room, and everybody should be so blessed and lucky to overhear their inane conversation. Well, guess what? We're not. So shut up. All right, I'll get back to planes in a minute, but so LA is not really known for its public transit yet. It does have a subway system that I didn't actually know until I'd lived there for, I don't know, a year or something. And like, look, subways, there are a lot of subways that are used as you know, the primary way of commuting in New York City and Boston. Even in Philly, a lot of people commute via the subway. And yeah, subways can be kind of sketchy. They can be kind of grungy. They all smell like pee for no reason. And there's always going to be like questionable characters on certain trains heading certain places, usually like rowdy teenagers who just want to smoke a lot of weed and punch things, because that's all teenagers do anymore, right? But for some reason in LA, it's just full of insane people. Like, I have never seen crazier people than the people who ride the subway in Los Angeles. Like, how? Why? What are you, like, first of all, go spend your money on a sandwich, because it costs money to ride the subway. Like, are you just riding, like, what are you doing there anyway? The very first time I ever rode the subway in Los Angeles, there was a large woman sitting on it with no pants, just no pants to speak of, just muttering to herself about airing out her legs with like 1,000 pencils stuck into her hair. Like, I don't know, I don't get it. Why are the craziest people, phone fell down, carry on, why are the craziest people in the fucking world riding the subway in Los Angeles? I don't know. Like, yeah, you're gonna get crazies anywhere you go, but it's like literally the craziest human beings in the entire world are all in the Los Angeles subway. Why? I don't know. All right, so last thing I want to talk about are people on the airplane. I know this is a very controversial subject that a lot of people are afraid to have real opinions on because fat shaming or something, but to say that a person taking up 2 seats on an airplane should buy 2 tickets is not fat shaming. It is common sense, right? If I go on an airplane with a dog and my dog, even if it's a service animal, takes up an extra seat, I have to buy that seat. I have to buy the space for my dog because my dog is taking up a seat that someone else can use. If my size is more than a seat's worth of size, I should pay for the amount of space I'm using. Because why should I have to sit next to somebody who takes up 1 1/4 seat, leaving me with 3? I didn't pay for 3/4 of a seat. I paid for a seat. So if you're gonna let this person take up a quarter of my seat, I better be paying 75% fare for that fucking flight. This is not about trying to make people feel bad. This is about the fact that you don't give some people things. That's the whole thing. It's like, it's not about discriminating against fat people. It's about not taking away things from other people just to make sure that fat people don't have their feelings hurt. Like, it sucks if you're super heavy. I get it. I get that it's hard to lose weight. I get that just because you're fat is not necessarily your fault. Maybe you didn't have the right education. Maybe your metabolism sucks. Maybe things are just harder for you. Whatever reason, I'm not gonna just immediately hold it against you and hate you because you're large, but I'm still not gonna give you a quarter of my fucking seat for free on a fucking airplane. If you take up more than a seat, you pay for more than a seat. If you want your Great Dane to sit in the seat next to you, you pay for it. If you decide you need an entire seat for your fucking suitcase, you pay for it. If you decide you need a row for yourself because you're agoraphobic, you fucking pay for it. And if your body takes up more than a seat, you pay for the space you use. It is not fair to ask somebody else to give up 25% of their seat space because you don't want to hurt the feelings of the person that takes up 125% of their seat space. It's just common sense. Stop being so sensitive, world. Like, Christ, if you feel that bad about your size, don't fucking fly. Or, like, learn how to deal with your self-esteem. Learn how to deal with your issues. Stop making your issues my problem. That's just a general problem with people these days. Your personal issues, your personal self-esteem problems, your personal sensitivities are not my fucking problem. It is not my job to walk around all of the time caring about your feelings. If you have little special intricacies about your feelings and your character and your opinions, it's your responsibility to take care of that. Your mental health is your goddamn responsibility. And if you need me to do something about that, you can talk to me about it. You don't just get to assume that I automatically know all of your little triggers and I'm gonna be fucking sensitive to it. Jeez, take responsibility for your own fucking life, people. Sorry, that got really heated and kind of went places I didn't realize it was gonna go. So, I hope you enjoy that. That's all I gotta say. If you also would like to see your suggestions come screaming out of my mouth, join my Patreon community, join the reward tier that allows you to suggest things to me. I promise if you do that, as long as it's not like super high production value or temporally related, I will try to get it done within the first month of you suggesting it. So there you go. I hope that answered your question. I hope that responded to you. Guys, if you want to join my amazing Patreon community and to help support my yelling habit, the link is in the description below, and I'll yell at you later. Stay tuned tomorrow. There should be some fantastic footage from the parade, the Eagles parade. So I'm gonna try to see if I can live stream a little from down there. That would be really cool. Anyway, thanks for being a part of my videos and stuff, and I'll catch y'all later.